you know. So this problem, in which case, is one where you need parentheses, okay? And this is a perfect example. So we got J, and our J is 6. So like that one, the parentheses don't really matter. But now we have minus in our H value. So it's minus 6 squared. Minus another H, which is minus 6. So there's a lot of minuses going on. So this is where parentheses is definitely going to benefit you so you don't screw it up. Because some people are going to see this minus minus on this first one, and you're going to say plus. But it's not really because of our order of operations, okay? So our order of operations says parentheses first, but we have parentheses, but there's nothing inside the parentheses other than one term. So you don't do parentheses first, you do exponents. So negative 6 squared is going to be 36 because it's just negative 6 times negative 6. A negative times a negative is a positive. So 6 times 6 is 36. So we get a 36 for that middle term. So we're just going to rewrite everything. 6 minus, minus. Okay, so now I got 6 minus 36 minus minus 6. Okay, so now you can go through and submit all the change all the ones that are minus minus, which is just the last one. So you can say 6 minus 36 plus 6. Okay, so 6 minus 36 is going to be negative 30 plus 6, which is going to be, I want to say negative 24. Negative 24. Okay, so whenever you're working with negatives, squareds, if there's already negatives in the problem, or like the H was negative, okay, use parentheses. I'm telling you, you will screw it up. Okay, 15. 15 says Q plus P plus 4 plus Q. So our Q is 5 plus our P is negative 4 plus 4 plus our Q, again, which is 5. Okay, in this one, the parentheses kind of don't really matter. It's just a general rule of thumb that a negative trumps a positive. So 5 plus negative 4 is going to be 1. So that's for this part. And then we got a plus 4 plus 5. Okay, 1 plus 4 is 5 plus 5. And 5 plus 5 is 10. I don't know how many problems I put on here. 16. Okay, now look at the other side with me. I'm going to write you guys a couple notes. So 16. Make sure you use parentheses. Okay, and you do that b over 2 first. So deal with that b over 2 first. And then subtract a, and then it's going to be multiplied by that b. Okay? Actually, I'm just going to do this one. I like. It's a little more complicated than what I planned. So you guys get a freebie. Okay, so our b is negative 2. And then we have these big parentheses. So b is negative 2 over 2 minus our a, which is negative 3. Okay, once again, it's kind of a lot of negatives going on. So deal with the b over 2 first. So negative 2 divided by 2 is going to be negative 1 minus, and then we got a negative 3. Okay, so same thing. We're working inside the parentheses first. So this minus minus, negative 1 minus negative 3, minus minus is a plus. Okay, so it's really going to be negative 2, 1, negative 1 plus 3. Okay, and still same thing. We're working with this set of parentheses because we got 2 terms in it and there should only be 1. So negative 1 plus 3 is going to be positive 2. And we still got that negative 2 out front. So now we're left with -2, and they're right next to each other, so that means multiply. -2 times a +2 is going to give you a -4. I know my math's a mess. I wasn't intending for it to be that big, but that's the way it came out. Don't judge, because I've seen some of your guys' work. Alright. Okay, let's look at 14. Make sure you're using parentheses. You got some negatives there. You're going to get lost in the sauce. Same thing with 12. Use your parentheses. 10, you need to do the inside of the parentheses first. So plug in your C and do those parentheses first. Number 8, I would probably write yourself a note somewhere. Since this is right next to that XY, it means multiply, okay? So it's really going to be 5 times whatever that value is on the inside of that parentheses, okay? So your very last step would be to multiply by 5. 6, use parentheses. Okay, it's going to be y times x on the inside, and then when you get that value, okay, you're going to square it. 4, deal with that fraction first. Okay, plug everything in and deal with the fraction first. And 2, same thing. So your last step is going to be to multiply by -5. Okay, so deal with the parentheses, and when that's all down to 1 digit, multiply it by -5, okay? And depending on how you guys all do, we might spend another day on this. I don't like to leave people behind. So if you got it, great, you'll breeze right through it again. And if you didn't, cool, you'll get the extra day that you need to practice, okay? My classes, I don't want to sound cheesy or nothing, but we're like a family, alright? So I'm not going to leave one person behind. That's not right, okay? It's not every man for himself. We're all in this together, and I want all of you to pass. So there might be some days where you get something really great and somebody else doesn't, and then on another day you might be struggling and someone else isn't, okay? So if you're like, I don't want to spend another day on this, tough, okay? So depending on how you guys do and my in-class people do, if I feel we need to spend another day on it, we will. So just know that, okay? That's all I got for today. Just a quick reminder before you go off. Tomorrow there will be no Zoom.